Although I had some pretty fond memories coming into my replayed through of Ape Escape 2 about a year or so ago, I very quickly realized that it was just not the same as the original. The new art direction sucked, the rendering of the world wasn't nearly as appealing, the music wasn't even as good. And the gameplay was pretty much the exact same thing done over again, with little to no new cool shit added in. Even the story, which was hokey but pretty awesome in the original, is pretty bad and unenjoyable in the sequel. The main character, Jimmy, or Hikaru in Japan, he's Jimmy here, he's just a lame reskin of Spike. There's no cheesy but somehow incredibly effective rival character like Jake, or Hidoki in Japan. And most importantly, where's that green-haired girl who introduced like every level to you in Ape Escape 1? She was awesome. All these things make the original charming as fuck and keep me coming back year after year, because there really is nothing quite like it. There are, of course, some things that were improved with the sequel, like the frame rate being bumped to 60 instead of the shaky at best 30 the first one had, but there really isn't much that makes the sequel stand out at all. All of these things are also mostly a problem with the initial parts of Ape Escape 3, like no rival character, music still mostly meh, art direction is better, but nowhere near as jaw-dropping as 1, and still no green hair girl. The fuck? All of this with the addition of a much worse frame rate. It's kind of a weird 45 to 50, but it's just shaky and disgusting. But as soon as you see the new morph system introduced, you know this shit's about to get hype. Now, one thing I'd like to recommend before we go any further, at the very beginning of the game, when you're asked to choose your character to play as, you must pick Yumi, Sayaka in Japan, and not Kei, Satoru in Japan. Why, you must be asking? Because Kei is a lame piece of garbo. All he does is play baseball. Boring. While Yumi can transform into the greatest magical girl the world has ever seen! These transformation morph thingies completely change the way you play Ape Escape. You now dash through areas, capturing monkeys left and right, until you run out of juice for your Morphe. And on top of that, if you're good enough, you can make it through entire levels without dropping out of the morph once. It adds a really nice skill ceiling to the game that I think is kind of missing from Ape Escape 1 and 2. And beyond this epic new feature, there really isn't much at all that makes the game better than Ape Escape 1. But it's definitely better than Ape Escape 2, which felt more like a, oh shit, we've spent all this time making a pretty new engine, but what about the game, man? Instead of a, yeah, I'm a fucking magical princess, bitches! I guess what I'm trying to say is, Ape Escape 3, just on a basic level, is more fun than Ape Escape 2. 2 is still a pretty good game, you know, it's not like terrible or anything, but anytime I think about playing an Ape Escape game, it's always the last one on my mind. Although I've never tried any of those weird spin-off games. Every time I see footage for those, they just turns me off immediately. No thank you. Hopefully someday we get an Ape Escape 4. That'd be wonderful. Anyway, that does it for this video. Thank you for staying with me today. I'll see you tomorrow. Bye-bye.